It's so sad seeing some people having houses for the past 3-5 years. They are not able to sell the houses. Why? Because they value the house in a way that they can't even sell the house. How to price your house so that you can sell it fast. Most people do not have an idea how to actually price your house. So at the end of the day, they suffer to sell the house, and even we the advertisers also suffer advertising. At the end of the day, we don't sell. And it is important we actually have a system on how we can actually come out with pricing, because it's so sad. Some people will just look at the house and say, oh, this house that I built, I'm selling it $200,000. I'm selling it $150,000. So they just price the thing anyhow. And at the end of the day, you go and make video, you advertise, you won't sell. So this video is actually to give you an idea on how to price the house. And for those of you who are planning to actually invest in Africa, invest in Ghana, look no further. This video will also give you an idea on how to actually price your property. It's so sad seeing some people having houses for the past 3-5 years. They are not able to sell the houses. Why? Because they value the house in a way that they can't even sell the house. You tell the person reduce, he will not understand. Why? Because he's just using his mind. This house there. But if he had money and you told him to buy the house at that price, he himself will not agree to buy it that way. So why would you want to sell something to somebody in a way that you yourself will not agree to buy? So in this video, I'm actually going to provide you with a systematic way of actually pricing your house. And also I'll be giving you figures as example, you understand? So number one, let's say we are selling our house not because we need money for our personal problem, because people who want to sell their houses because they have personal problems or they have money, they need money urgently, then this formula is not for you. But actually it is for people who have built a house and they want to strategically sell it for profits. So in that way, you know what we are talking about. Number one, let's establish example. Let's say we have bought a half plot of land and we are going to build a 2-bedroom house on it. If we are going to build a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom house on it with a very nice plan, we've actually bought a half plot of land. So first of all, to price a property, you just need to know the cost of the property. Most people do not keep records. They don't know how much they have actually, bought the land. Some people even forget how much they even bought the land. They forget how much they did the foundation. They forget how much they bought bricks or blocks. They forgot how much they paid the workers. They forgot how much they paid for roofing. They forgot how much they do the finishing and everything. They don't keep records, so they have no idea. So in this case, I am actually talking about people who are educated and people who have taken this business seriously and people who actually keep records. This video is yours. For those of you who didn't keep records, I would suggest that get a valuer or an expert who can actually value your house so that you can know the cost of your house. But if you are somebody who have taken it serious and you keep records of every single amount of money you spend, then let us continue. Let's start from the cost of buying the land and the registration and documentation, everything. Let's say we spend 150,000 Ghana cedis to buy a half plot of land. You understand? We spend 150,000 Ghana cedis to buy a half plot of land at, let's say, Oyarefa or Ayimensa. 150,000 Ghana cedis to buy a half plot of land. And we want to build a 2-bedroom house on it. Or let's say in a manageable way, we managed to build a 3-bedroom house on it. So definitely we have spent 150,000 Ghana cedis on the land alone. And then when it comes to building the house, let's say we have spent 450,000 Ghana cedis to build the house. So the cost of the property is actually the cost that the amount of money we spend in building the house, and also the amount of money we spend in acquiring the land. So in all, we've been able to add both. How much would both do? Both would be equal to 600,000 Ghana cedis. Please, I know some of you will come at me and say that I have undervalued the price, but this is just an example. The prices may differ and it may be higher. So let's say we spend 600,000 Ghana cedis on what? On the property alone. So number one is knowing the cost, and we have just achieved that. Number two is knowing how much you are charging as profit. That is the profit margin. In the Ghanaian market, most of the houses you are seeing online, people are selling, they are at 100% profits. Some even charge over 100% profit margin, and that makes it so difficult to sell. But for someone like you who want to sell your house quick, you don't need to go that way. You actually have to look for ways and means you can make profits, but at the same time not suffer a lot. So let's assume that we are keeping a profit margin of 50%. So let's say that we spent 600,000 Ghana cedis to build the house, the land, everything, and we are charging 50% of the amount of the money we invested as our profits. So 50% of 600,000 will be how much? 300,000. That is our profit. We add it to the cost of the house, and all will be how much? 900,000 Ghana cedis. So now our house, we know how much it costs to build, and we know how much our profit is on the house, 900,000. So now there is another thing you need to consider when you are pricing. You understand? That is the one who is going to help you sell. You don't have the social media platform. We the advertisers are those who have it. So ordinarily in Ghanaian real estate market, the advertisers, they charge 5% for selling your house. If you pay more than 5%, but normally it is just 5% or less, depending on how you are able to bargain with the advertiser. But some of our, when we are coming in, we are coming for 5%. So 5%, you want to get your 30%. You don't want to pay the 5% or the agent or the advertiser's commission from your profit. So you have to calculate 5% of the amount and add it to the total you have already gotten. So let's say you have your total to be 900,000 Ghana cedis, and you want to pay the agent 5%. 5% of 900,000 Ghana cedis will be 45,000 Ghana cedis that you are going to pay to the what? To the advertiser or the agent. Now, if you add the 45,000 to the 900,000, you get 945,000. So let's say ordinarily you are going to advertise the house at 950,000. Yes. So let's just say 950,000, flat rate 950,000. Now the next thing is payment plan price. After we have gotten the amount that we are selling it cash, which is 950,000, we need to understand that the market is so choke, and the person who has a payment plan is the one who is able to sell fast and sell quick. So we need to calculate and have a payment plan price. That one is different from the cash price. The cash price is 950K, 950,000 Ghana cedis. So now that we want to put it in a payment plan, we will have to calculate and add some small money on it. Do you understand? So ordinarily in Ghana here, in Ghana, the normal payments, the normal percentage estate company uses 15%. They have their different formulas. But let's say we are just using 50% on the cash price. So that when we get that amount, to be able to add it to the cash price and say that is our what? That is our payment plan price. So 15% times the 950,000. We are almost going to get how much? 150,000. You understand? So we add 150,000 to the 950. So how much will you get? We'll get 1.1 million Ghana cedis. So that means that if someone wants to pay cash and take the house, it's 950,000. But if someone wants to pay, pay it 50% and then pay the remaining on installment, it is how much? It is 1.1 million Ghana cedis. So we need to know this because this will encourage and increase our audience or our potential customers. This payment plan is so necessary and so important. So the next one is the exchange rate. You have to place your money or hedge your Ghana cedi to the dollars. So before you can succeed. People who always, you get people online here, they complain, we are in Ghana. Why are you not mentioning the price in Ghana cedi? Your Ghana cedi is a failure. Ghana cedi is a failure. Every day it is devaluing. You understand? So if you are in the business to make profit, you don't go with that sense of patriotism. You will fail. So that money, we need to hedge it. We need to hedge it to the what? To the dollar. So let's say the time you built the house, the time you were building your house and you even built the house and finished, the exchange rate was $1 to 10 Ghana cedis. So that means that you need 10 Ghana cedis to buy $1. You understand? So now that we have our monies in Ghana cedis, 950,000 and then 1.1 million Ghana cedis, we have to bring it into dollars. 950,000 Ghana cedis if you are using an exchange rate of 10 cedis to $1, it is going to be $95,000. And the 1.1 million Ghana cedis is going to be $110,000. $110,000. You understand? So you have the house 95,000 for outright payment or for cash payment, and then what? And then $110,000 for what? For installment payments or for payment plan payments within 1 year. And another reason you need to understand why we have to always hedge the money to the dollar is that the Ghana cedi keeps falling. You understand? So if the Ghana cedi keeps falling, the value of your house will be what? Will also be falling. So let's assume that the time you build the house, $1 is equal to 10 Ghana cedis. And now, after 6 months or after 3 months, you decide to sell the house. Now, $1 is equal to 15 Ghana cedis. $1 is equal to 15 Ghana cedis. So imagine you're going to use the Ghana cedi, the old price. You will lose. You lose poto. You understand? So you need to hedge the money to the dollar, so that whenever we are advertising, we are going to advertise using the dollars and the current Ghana cedi rate. Do you understand? So anybody that is, when we are advertising, we will mention both currencies, but anybody that is coming to pay, you know that person is going to pay the Ghana cedi equivalent to the dollar. Do you understand? If you are also giving it out to the seller or the advertiser definitely will also add something on it. And we call this the listing price. So that, because in Africa, we need to know one thing. Africans like to feel like they have also negotiated and be able to reduce price. So people actually come and say that, why should you list price of a property and say it is negotiable? You should just mention your best price. You just mention your best. No, you don't know the market. In Africa, here it's different. Africans don't like to buy a property when they don't feel like they have also negotiated and reduced the price. So you actually have to have a negotiating price. So the negotiating price of 950,000 Ghana cedis, we can actually put it on 1 million, so that when the person comes to buy it outright, we can actually reduce to our 950,000, and the person will also be satisfied and feel like he has also negotiated. And then the payment plan amount, which is 1.1 million Ghana cedis, we can actually list it at 1.2 million, so that if the person comes to buy, we'll reduce it a little bit. The person will buy 1.1. You understand? If it is in terms of the dollars, we can list it. Since it is $95,000, we can say it is what? $100,000. So when the person comes, we will reduce, we'll reach 95,000. You understand? If it is $110,000, we can make it $120,000. So if a person comes to buy, he also feels like, yeah, he has negotiated the 110 before you sell it out. These are important things you need to consider: the negotiating price or the listing price. These are prices that we actually use to we put it in the market for people to see. But at the end of the day, we know how much we are actually selling it at. And the last thing is competitive pricing or competitors pricing. A lot of people just sit down and then they give price to their property. They don't know that the market is choke. So what you have to do is that if you are going to list, or before you come to conclude that your house we should sell your house like this, you need to at least have an idea of how much people are actually selling the same type of house in the market currently. And that we need to consider different things. We need to consider the location. We need to consider the type of house, that is whether it is finished or it is not finished. We need to also consider the style of building. You understand? The style and the plan that they used to build the house. And then we also need to consider the materials involved and whether it is finished or unfinished. So imagine we have similar house like yours. You understand? It is finished, everything. And then they are selling those similar houses in the market at cheaper price than the amount we are about to quote. They know that, Jack, we cannot compete. We have to actually we have to lose our price down, so we'll be able to sell it fast. But if we say no, we will not do that. Yeah, we will suffer there. Another thing is that probably you'll be able to calculate and you found out the truth and you realize that your price is even lesser than the amount in the market. What happens? You can automatically increase it a little bit, but not up to the market price, so that when someone is to buy, the person will consider your house instead of what is in the market. So let's say in the market, people are selling it 150,000, 150,000, 150,000. Ours is $110,000 dollars and $95,000 for outright payments. So we can increase a little bit on it so that we will still make a lot of profit, but we will not actually spoil our luck in selling fast. So that is one thing we need to consider. Knowing how much they sell similar houses in the market is important. Most people just mention the price anyhow. They don't know. Some people, you can even have some people selling uncompleted building. It is more expensive than completed one of the same plan, the same style and everything. Someone has built his house and completed it, finished it, done everything. Your own is not even finished, but your own is the same price as his own. The same plan, everything, similar location, the same location. Do you think buyers will leave that one and come and buy your own? It doesn't make sense. So you actually need to know how much people are selling similar houses and kindly reduce your price if yours is too high, and also know when to increase the price so you can enjoy the advantage of that. So these are 6 or 7 things you need to consider when you are actually pricing your house, and you don't go into pricing your house anyhow.